Alright, so we're back with Need for Speed Underground 1, and as you noticed, or as you might have noticed, I'm doing the beginning race, hence why I'm driving an overpriced Honda right now, because I'm currently right now working on the Dodge Neon video that everyone has either waited for or not waited for, and I figure I'm not going to include a clip of this part of the game in the video. I figured, well, what else am I gonna do with this? Because this is precious time of the game that I could be putting into the video. And I was like, wait a minute, I could let my viewers know about what's gonna come after we're done with this game. So, if you've been following this series long enough, we're almost done with the game. We've driven all the starter cars. Last one we gotta do is the Neon, and I'm not gonna do the 206, the Peugeot, just because it's a boring car. Probably end up posting like a 3-second long video saying Peugeot. It's gonna be like a wide Peugeot 206. It's gonna say Pugo on top. That might actually be what happens. But after we're done with the Neon, I was confused I was thinking what are we gonna do after we're done with Need for Speed Underground 1? And I was watching a couple videos, I was watching a video earlier this afternoon of Need for Speed Most Wanted by Slip Phantom, and it was a video about and the video had a bunch of bugs that are in the game, and I figured out that I think some of the AI race cars will cut you off and brake check you in the game, and my family has a history of being angry at idiot drivers on the road. And I was like, oh my god, this game is perfect. So I was like, okay, I guess we can introduce this game into the channel too. That'd be interesting. We've already played Underground 1. And then I saw a meme. It was a Pokemon meme. And it was like, so you can't ride a bike through buildings if you can hop side to side. And it had a picture of the bridges where you gotta take the bike and hop side to side. All that crap. I was like, wait a minute. What's a game people love that takes a while to play that would be interesting on YouTube? And I was like, Pokemon Emerald. It's a long enough game to the point where we can make a decent lasting series about it. And well, people like the game, so I was figured, how are we gonna put these two games into videos? And I have an idea. So one day we're gonna do Pokemon, the next day we're gonna do Most Wanted, and then every Friday we're gonna Twitch stream Pokemon, and then the weekend after Friday I'll edit the stream into a video and then post it on YouTube. That's my plan right now, after we're done with this game. So, those are my plans for the channel for a little while. But just figured I'd let you guys know. Okay, so, Dodge Neon. The car you've all been waiting for. The Dodge. Dodge Neon. The only car to get outrun by another Neon. Dodge Neon. What does Hellcat swapping do to a Neon? Because it is a Dodge engine. This is a Dodge car. I wonder. Let's see. People with cancer probably drive these things, so it probably has a chance of cancer. In fact, the brake pads, the brake pads are made of just different cancers. Breast cancer, lung cancer, tumors, just bits of different tumors fall out of people's brains. That's all. The stock, really just the stock brake pads on a Neon are made out of that stuff. So are the wheels. In fact, the Dodge Neon was the first car to come with cancer cells as the rubber, because they figured out how to mold the cancer cells into a nice fine rubbery liquid, so they hardened it into 4 tires. In fact, The only reason why kids beat cancer back in the 90s was because Dodge. You know, Dodge is like, we'll give you all our money. Give us your cancer cells to make our brake pads and tires made out of that stuff. So really, braking, since the brake pads are made out of cancer cells, braking, you know, the chemicals coming off the brakes really gave you cancer because the car is made of plastic. So really, Hellcat swapping neon would just give the well, the heat of the Hellcat would melt the car because the car is made of plastic. But secondly, it'd give the Hellcat motor cancer. So it would really just make less horsepower than the 3 horsepower that this car makes stock. It'd really just give the Hellcat cancer, making it make less horsepower. So you really just be putting just a slower engine into the car. It's like Predator 212 swapping like an old Honda. You know, you took the engine out of it, you put a 212 into the car for a joke, and you ended up making less horsepower. That's what would happen if you put a Hellcat in a Neon, because the Hellcat would get cancer, and yeah, and since the heat of the Hellcat would melt the plastic, it'd really just melt the entire car, because the entire car is made of plastic. So really, you wouldn't have much of a car to move. So it just kind of slow the car down. See? Yeah, that's what Hellcat swapping a Neon would do to the Hellcat. Let's mount $3,000 wheels on my $500 stepdad's Neon. Oh, and I also forgot the $9,000. I almost forgot the $9,000 sound system, because of course you need a sound system that's costs more than the car. I mean, really, it doesn't matter. You just need a sound system that costs more than. It doesn't even matter. You just need a sound system that's expensive and costs more than the car is even worth. There we go. That's what I tried to blabber out of my mouth. Can we put neon on a neon? What type of color do we want? We want blue. Yes. Okay, so check this out. Wheels. We're gonna paint those black. The base of the car, we're gonna do red. Yes. Now check this out. Go back here. Go back to the spoiler. Black the spoiler out. There we go. Now we're thinking like a neon driver. And of course we need the Alpine stickers in the back. And then for the front we need well, our car's not doesn't have audio on. We need street glow on the front because we have street glow on our car. Now there we go. Now it's starting to look proper. Dodge Neon, the only car to use. Let's see. What would the Neon use as a lubricant? Because the Neons had an option where you can use 2 types of lubricant. You could use oil or something else, but I forgot what it was. Give me a second, gotta think. The Dodge Neon is the only car to use Monster Energy Drink and Mountain Dew and Jack Daniels as lubricant. But not separately. You gotta mix all those drinks together as lubricant, because what are poor 16-year-olds who live in trailer parks always drink? Monster Energy Drink or Mountain Dew. What do their dads always drink? Jack Daniels or I don't know, Coors, because well, they're drunks. So if you mix all those liquids together, you can use them as spare oil, because really, I mean, the neon drivers can't afford oil. They're too busy spending their money on cigarettes and lottery tickets. So since Dodge already knew what the market their car was going to, they decided to design the engine to use those liquids as a lubricant instead of oil. Finals are large stickers you can put in your car to give it some personality. Yes, shut up. Some personality does a Dodge and Neon have. The only personality this thing has is a cancer patient personality. I mean, I don't have any hate against kids with cancer. I mean, it's sad, and it's sad because, you know, there are kids with cancer out there, and, well, they can't really do anything. It's cancer. It's sad, but, I mean, this car has the personality of cancer. Like, I've changed my mind. It doesn't have the personality of a cancer patient. It has the personality of cancer, which is sick and the worst thing ever. Kind of like how this car is the worst car ever. See, it's all a nice pattern, you know. Oh yeah, we need the big rear bumper. See, the mothers of see when you raise a kid and you give your kid the Dodge Neon, see, you need to keep him safe. So that way when the engine does decide to eat itself alive, at least your son's protected. Or when you get rear-ended by a truck after brake checking it, you have a big plastic rear bumper to absorb the hit, you know? Because, you know, you want your driver to stay safe. In fact, the parents, the mothers of the kids that drive Neons and live in trailer parks don't even they've had enough of their kids bullcrap to the point where they're like, look, I don't want you to die, but I don't want you in my house. So take your dad's Neon and and drive that. But we're gonna do some modifications on it. First things first, we're, we're gonna we're gonna take it to the dealership and make sure that the 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 second option of lubricant is available. Because you're always drinking Monster Energy drinks and Mountain Dews, so we gotta have the option to use those as lubricant in case your car breaks down. Because, well, we don't want to help you, so you can help yourself. And secondly, I don't want to kill you, okay? I'm not that type of son. But I don't want you in my house. So we're gonna put a big, beefy rear bumper on the back of your plastic Neon to try to absorb a hit from a big truck that you've probably cut off. So that way I don't have to look at you at your funeral. I just have to know, hey, my son's still living, and he's at least somewhat successful. See, there we go. Now we're thinking like a Neon. Now we're thinking like the mother of a Neon driver. This car looks disgusting. Man, look at it. How did this thing make it on a magazine? Okay, I guess it doesn't look too terrible. It's not as bad. The Civic didn't look too bad either. Nor did the Celica. The rest of the cars look terrible. I mean, like I said, for all the people that think I don't have good taste in cars, I'm doing these crappy modifications as jokes. Because the cars that you choose to start out with in this game are all absolutely terrible. Can't do anything for those window tinting? Oh yeah, I forgot. Green. Yes. Green tint. Why would you ever want that? I don't know. There you go. I added some more vinyls on the side of our already terrible looking Neon. Poorly rendered 3D PS2 chicks love my Dodge Neon. Look, see? Okay, she looked like she was more looking towards the purple Neon next to me. Because, well, it's purple. I mean, you can't go wrong with purple. This golf driver really tried to run me off the road. I mean, it's AI, but I don't care. Nah, I ain't gonna let this fly, fam. That's what everyone's saying now, right, fam? No, that's what every short 11-year-old with a higher voice than my 8-year-old sister. I swear, the school I go to, there are some kids with a higher voice than my sister, and all those kids that do have a higher voice than my 8-year-old sister, they look retarded and they are retarded. Alright? I don't feel bad saying that, considering I'm probably like the most normal kid there. I mean, every kid there is either emo and insane, or retarded looking and retarded really everything, or just insane, but in a different level of insane. Like screaming ball sack every 5 seconds, like my friend Dean, insane. Because that's what you get living in the good old state of Arkansas, even though it's pronounced Arkansas, because stupid Americans have to pronounce things differently just because they have an extra 2 letters in them. Because America, you know, the official country of fat people and McDonald's and cheeseburgers and milkshakes. Poorly rendered 3D PS2 chicks love my Dodge Neon. Look, see? Okay, she looked like she was more looking towards the purple Neon next to me. Because, well, it's purple. I mean, you can't go wrong with purple. Did this golf driver really try to run me off the road? I mean, it's AI, but I don't care. Nah, I ain't gonna let this fly, fam. That's what everyone's saying now, right, fam? No, that's what every short 11-year-old with a higher voice than my 8-year-old sister. I swear, the school I go to, there are some kids with a higher voice than my sister, and all those kids that do have a higher voice than my 8-year-old sister, they look retarded and they are retarded. Alright? I don't feel bad saying that, considering I'm probably like the most normal kid there. I mean, every kid there is either emo and insane, or retarded looking and retarded really everything, or just insane, but in a different level of insane. Like screaming ball sack every 5 seconds, like my friend Dean. Insane. Because that's what you get living in the good old state of Arkansas. Even though it's pronounced Arkansas, because stupid Americans have to pronounce things differently just because they have an extra 2 letters in them. Because America, you know, the official country of fat people and McDonald's and cheeseburgers and milkshakes.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?